All right, welcome to the lightning round, everybody. Make sure to participate in the chat. Let us know what you think and submit some extra questions if you'd like as well. All right, let's start by talking about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Joe, Ben, Josh, is Stenhouse winning top 5, top 10, top 20, or finishing somewhere outside the top 20?
I say outside the top 20. He seems to win or crash. I think he's going to crash outside top 20.
I'm going to go with the top 10. I think he's going to find a way to survive towards the end there, but it's very hard to go back to back in this race. But that JTG Doherty team, they always seem to find a way to pull out a good result on these super speedway races. I'm going to say top 10, but nothing more than that.
I'll say top 20, but with an emphasis that he'll be involved in one of the cautions as well. As Joe said, it's either win or bin it. So I think he'll try and bin it and then take out a couple of others.
I'm feeling like a Stenhouse top 10 is reasonable. I'll go with you, Ben. All right, next question. Which team is going to have a better finish today, Front Row or Stewart Haas Racing? Two of those kind of next step down Ford teams. Ben, we'll start with you.
Well, I don't know Front Row's next step down team anymore. I think based on how Stewart Haas ran last year, I would say Front Row is maybe ahead of them at this point with how strong Michael McDowell's taking that team. And by the way, just heard this week that apparently Love's signed a multi-year deal to come back and sponsor that team. They've been signing one-year deals ever since their relationship began. So that shows the kind of investment that they're willing to put into this team right now. But then you factor in the fact that Stewart Haas Racing is a very young and inexperienced driver lineup. Michael McDowell's former winner of this race starting on the front row, ironically, in a front row car. I'm going to go with Front Row Motorsports and specifically Michael McDowell. I think he gets the best finish.
Yeah, kind of took my answer there as well, because we were talking about it in the Grid Tonight show. Stewart Haas Racing have been having just horrible press, horrible times of it. They're looking completely disorganized as well. So I don't think they're going to do very well in the first race. They're going to take a couple of races sort of just to bed in. So I think Front Row are going to, I think as well, we're going to see Michael McDowell do something special. I mean, he was doing quite well in the duels until he got a little bit of a tap, got sent up high, and then decided, okay, I'll just drop back and save the car. But he was looking good in the drafts.
I'm going Front Row, Michael McDowell, and I'm not counting out Todd Gilliland. I think he could have a strong run too.
And Kaz Gralla. You got an open card there as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Front Row on this one as well. All right, let's talk about Joe Gibbs Racing. 4 JGR cars. Where will Ty Gibbs finish among those 4 cars, Josh?
I've got a feeling he'll be the top of them, and I'm thinking overall he might be inside the top 10. I think he's going to have quite a good race as well, judging by what we saw. I'm going optimistic.
I'm going to go behind Hamlin, but ahead of Bell and Truex, so he'll be the second fan. I think he's going to have a stellar day.
I'm going to just give you the entire lineup, I guess. I'll go Hamlin, Bell, Gibbs, and Truex. I know Truex is a champion and one of the all-time greats, future Hall of Famer. I don't think that he's necessarily the greatest super speedway racer. It's, compared to his performance on other types of tracks. Of course, he did very nearly win this race in 2016. Denny Hamlin just edged him out. But I think, I'm reminded of the year that Gibbs was up. I think that was 2019. Denny Hamlin won. Kyle Busch was up there with Eric Jones as well. And Truex was the one that got caught up in one of the big wrecks. So I think Gibbs will finish ahead of Truex, but behind his other 2 teammates.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised with you guys. I feel like Ty Gibbs is at the bottom of my ranking. Honestly, maybe of Toyota as a whole in terms of super speedway racers, but I guess we'll see. All right, keeping in the Toyota category, let's talk about 2311. Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace. Who's having a better finish between those two, Joe?
I'm going Bubba Wallace. I think he's going to have a standout, typical Daytona performance, be up towards the front.
I was really surprised as well at Bubba, because I was expecting him to have a little bit of a shaky start in the duels, but he kept his nose clean. He actually got taken out in that crash, not of his own accord. He had nowhere else to go. And up until then, he was doing really well in the drafts. He was being methodical. He was side by side for a lot of times with Berry as well, and it was good, clean racing. Looks like I'm just seeing a little bit of a change in attitude towards him coming into this year. So I'll think Bubba Wallace will have a better finish in that 23XL car.
His teammate won the duel. I got to go with Tyler Reddick on this one. I know Bubba Wallace is a great super speedway racer, but Tyler Reddick didn't have a lot of speed this year, and or at 500 this year, I should say. We'll of course see what happens later on this season as we get into the heart of it. But I'm just going to go with Reddick.
Interesting. I think I'm going to go on Team Bubba on this one. They had some really good momentum to end last season, and I think he's definitely. I think the Toyota pack is going to be really strong. I could see him leading it. All right, next question. Alex Bowman, not on pole this year. Is he still going to be able to lead a lap in this race, Ben?
Well, let's see. He's got 200 chances to do so, and he's still starting relatively towards me. Yeah, I'm going to say yes, and I think he will lead multiple laps, as a matter of fact, in that 88 car. Or 48 car, excuse me.
200 scheduled laps, not counting overtime, more
Hey,
opportunities.
that's true.
I think he's not. I just think he has not been that stellar out of the Hendrick bunch. I say no, he won't.
He's led 42 here at Daytona, so he's got a good chance, knows how to lead it. I'd say yes, because it's a yes or no answer. I'd say yes, given what we're seeing.
I think I'm going to go with a yes. All right. Josh Berry, first start in the number 4 car. Is he going to be able to finish in the top 10? Josh?
Yes, judging by what we've seen in the duels as well, he can pack race, and he's been drafting quite well. He got shuffled back a couple of times as well. He's going to. It's his first full season, so he's in the Cup Series. He's going to get elbowed back a little bit by some of the more experienced lot, but I've got a feeling that keep your nose clean, have a good strategy, maybe benefit with yellow pit stops over green pit stops. So fingers crossed it might go well. So I'm going to say yes, he does.
I wouldn't put it past him. I think he's got the skill set necessary, but I want to stay consistent with where we kind of think Stuart Haas is right now compared to front row, especially. That was one of the earlier questions in this lightning round. I'm going to say he doesn't, but I'm not putting it past him either. It's just my prediction that he'll be outside the top 10 by the end of the day.
I just got the idea that Stuart Haas Racing, if they could survive a chaotic race, they could be in the top 10. But if we don't get a chaotic race, I think they're going to be outside the top 10. So I'm going to vote no. He'll be outside the top 10.
Yeah, I think I have to go no on this one as well. There's way too many strong names at Super Speedway Racing that can go above Josh Berry at this point of things. All right, big one. It's going to happen at some point. Stage 1, Stage 2, or Stage 3? Where is it going to happen, Joe?
I think it's going to be Stage 2. Stage 1, I think everyone's going to be just trying to settle it in. Stage 2, they're going to get aggressive. That's when mistakes will happen. Stage 2.
I would hope that the Cup Series field would be a little bit more mature than that of a Truck Series or the ARCA Menards Series. But based on how this weekend's going, I'm going to say Stage 1. And I think it's going to be early in Stage 1, too. I think somebody's just going to make a late block or make an ill-advised move trying to change lanes or something, and unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it doesn't happen. But based on how recent trends have gone, based on how this weekend has gone so far, based on the minimal practice that we've had, I think it's going to be Stage 1.
Okay, I see your point for that. And also, lack of grip, green track, Stage 1, first time all cars pack racing. I can see the benefit for that, where we might see a big one. Someone just getting a little loose coming out of 2 on the backstretch. Adam says Stage 3 for the big one and someone flips. I was thinking somebody flips, but I'm also thinking realistically it's going to be Stage 2. Sunset around about 6:30 as well. Light coming down. Still only running, 60 odd laps on that. First stage is 65 laps, so not much rubber going down. Sun setting, cooler track. I've just got the feeling that round about sunset, Stage 2, we'll have somebody go around causing the big one.
Well, we will have the Xfinity race, hopefully. We'll see. I'm seeing the weather might still even be a little bit wet into Monday morning, but they'll lay a little bit of rubber down before that as well. So I see what you're saying, Josh, about it being a relatively green track, but they will at least get that race in, hopefully, before the 500, and that'll help a little bit, I think.
Josh, I appreciate you predicting the location of the sun of when the big one's going to happen. I think it's going to happen in Stage 2. I think everyone's going to be chill in Stage 1, and then remember that they're in the Daytona 500 in Stage 2. All right, Denny Hamlin, Mr. Speeding on Pit Road. Is there going to be a Denny Hamlin pit road speeding penalty today, Ben?
There will be. But it will be towards the beginning of the race because Denny Hamlin is going to be my pickle winner. I'm sorry to spoil it for everybody. I think you might have been able to tell that was where I was trending based on my predictions for Gibbs and Toyota. But I never bet against Denny Hamlin when it comes to the end of these races. He's won 3 in a 5-year span with Toyota and Joe Gibbs Racing. He is prone to speed on pit road, but I think it's going to happen early enough in the race that he'll be able to recover from it and work his way back up towards the front by the end of it?
I'd say yes, mainly because I don't think he's going to lead a lap. Because looking at the stats, he's led 666 on a weekend which has already been pretty cursed. So I don't think it's going to be quite his way. And drivers are superstitious. He would know that stat. He'll know this weekend. And he has been speeding on pit road quite a lot. So I'll go, yes, he will. And I'll go, he won't do anything else. He'll just be sort of having a bit of a lackluster race.
I'm going to predict yes. It's going to happen, I think, during a green flag pit stop where you're trying to rush in. And that's going to be costly. So I'm firm, yes, he will. And I think it could ruin his race if he loses that draft and goes a lap down.
Ben, I think I'm going to follow you on this one. I see a stage 1 pit penalty and then like a rebound throughout the day. I see the vision. All right. Last year we had 52 lead changes. Are we going to see more or less this year? Ben, we'll start with you.
I think we're still going to see a lot of action up front, and I don't know, 52, that's a very high bar to be set. I'm going to take the under on that. I'm going to say there are going to be fewer lead changes in this year's race.
I'm going under too. I just think the nature of the track with the weather and everything and the lack of practice, I'm saying under.
Yeah, I'm going the same under as well. And just for the fact how quick Joey Logano was in quali, 181 mile an hour, if he hits the front and stays in the front, he's got a little bit more advantage. I think we're going to see quite a side-by-side race, but it's the pace through the corners. If Logano goes low, he can drag a bit quicker. So I've just got this feeling we're not going to see as many lead changes as we're going to expect.
Yeah, I feel like an under is the right call here. 52, that's a lot of lanes going back and forth. I think today it could be more single file action. All right, our final lightning round question. Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott. Those are 3 champions that have not won the Daytona 500. Which of those 3 is going to get a better finishing result tomorrow? Josh, we will start with you.
Oh, it's hard, isn't it? Kyle Busch was going so well and it all faded away. And Brad Keselowski was sort of started well, but then got kicked back quite early on the Gilles. I'll go Chase Elliott, third on the list. I've gone through this quite mathematically. I'll say Chase Elliott has a better finish tomorrow in the 500.
I think you have to go with Chase Elliott. I think this could be a good opportunity for him to get that win. I'm going with Chase Elliott.
I'm going to go with Kyle Busch. I think he's going to come close once again to winning this race, but I think it's going to elude him for yet another year, but he will get the best finish out of those 3.
I am surprised that nobody picked Brad Keselowski, who's an icon of this era of super speedway racing and has been in the picture at Daytona last year. I think I got to go with Brad Keselowski. All right, so that wraps up our lightning round. Thanks everybody for playing along with us.